I think in terms of innovating and coming up with a brand new business idea, you've got to look at what's happening in the market, and I guess what saddens me a lot, quite frankly, is how often people just want to jump on another bandwagon. I mean, I'm sorry, if the bandwagon is there, you're too late, and I don't get why people just what I'm seeing a lot of right now is people jumping on, I got another app. I mean, we've already reached apathy. And we've got to realise that actually what you need is new innovation. I guess it's having the courage when you're in a position where you see things from a different perspective and having the courage to go ahead and say, you know what, I don't agree with the market, I know what the market's saying, but I see this as being the reality. And really, if I look back on pretty much everything I've done previously, it's when I've gone against the market that I've actually had success. I've had the sort of courage, or you might call it stupidity, to go, don't believe it, I'm going to go a different route. And a lot of time my thinking is quite left field. It goes against what statistics may be saying, but on my gut feeling, if we pick, for example, India and China, which are potentially huge markets for where we're going, I have not believed for years on end that we're going to have 100% penetration of smartphones by now, which is what all the statistics are saying. Only in the last couple of weeks, Gartner have issued a report saying in India they don't expect smartphone penetration to be more than 12% by the end of this year. And that goes with what I was thinking, which is actually the cost of that smartphone, the cost of that extra data package is too much for that population. That's the earnings of the population there in India right now. So it's not, my view is you need to look at the next shiny thing and see where that influence is happening. But actually you need to look at the logistics, the logical moves that you need to make right now for your business to be successful. I think creative thinking is extremely important, and it's all about pushing the boundaries of creative thinking with the realities of where you can get in terms of technology. Quite frankly, we've pushed the boundaries of technology in what we're doing, but also by knowing from the team members I have just how far in advance before we started pushing those we could possibly get it. We have pushed it right to the limit right now, so we're pulling back and focusing more on the implementation and the development of the business. I think it's key that you have that balancing act between creativity and knowing how people actually work. I think one of the big issues I see right now is a lot of people are focusing on believing people are motivated enough to download your application, and they're not looking at what do you need to do as a company to go and market that app, to try and get embraced, to try and get the rest of that equation that needs to be there working. We see a lot of apps in retail where those who've created these apps, great apps, but they're not actually thinking about the ecosystem that they need to fit into. And this is where I see creativity needing to have a lot of people involved. If you've got a very creative team, you also need to have a lot of very grounded, logical people who have been there, who've been, who've seen the reasons why technology don't actually flourish in the end. And it's like everything I've seen in business, it's a balancing act. It's how far do you push, how far do you pull, where exactly can you make these things line up and happen.